kettlebell swing is a low-impact, explosive movement that builds total body strength, power, and balance while improving cardiovascular and muscular endurance, posture, mobility, and joint strength, all with just one piece of equipment. This is a full-body exercise, and the primary muscles that are used are your abs, glutes, and hamstrings, and it is all performed within the sagittal plane. A couple of things people tend to do wrong while performing this exercise is rounding the back as they pick up the kettlebell. This can cause injury. Next is the common misconception that this is an upper body exercise and primarily use their arms to swing. Another is bending of the knees. You don't want to squat as the kettlebell comes back down. And lastly, don't turn your head to check your form. This again can cause injury. To begin, stand about shoulder width apart, keeping the heels planted while engaging your core. Remember to keep eyes forward and chin tucked. During this exercise, we will move between two stances. The standing plank, where you keep your shoulders down, abs tight, and head in line with the spine. And then the hip hinge, with soft knees, not a squat, while keeping a straight line, head through heels in a tabletop position. To begin, you want to pick up your kettlebell from a deadlift position. In this position, your shoulder girdle should be retracted and your shoulder joint should be in a horizontal, adducted, and flexed position. Your elbows will be extended and your hip and knees should be flexed, as well as your ankle in a dorsiflex position, and your trunk will remain neutral. Standing tall, slightly bend your knees while gripping the handle of the kettlebell. Keep your arms long and loose while squeezing your shoulder blades back together and engaging your core. During the kettlebell swing, both the left and the right side of the body will mirror each other throughout the entire exercise and will involve both eccentric and concentric muscle actions. To begin a rep, soften your knees and shift your body weight into your heels while lowering your glutes back and down toward the wall behind you. Driving through your heels, explode through your hips to send your weight swinging upward from your quads. Aim for chest height with your arms extended. Finishing this position requires you to snap your hips through, contracting your core while squeezing your glutes. During this position, your shoulder girdle will remain retracted, your shoulder joint is still horizontally adducted and flexed, elbows are extended, hip, knees are also extended, the ankles will now be slightly plantar flexed as you reach the top, and trunk is still neutral. When you hinge forward during the kettlebell swing, your main mover muscles, which are your glutes and hamstrings, contract and shorten against resistance. This is called the concentric contraction. As the kettlebell begins to descend, let the weight do the work as you ready your body for the next rep. Shift your weight back into your heels while hinging at your hips and loading both your hamstrings and your glutes. Receive the weight of the kettlebell, allowing it to ride back between your legs. As the kettlebell makes the transition from backward to forward, drive through your heels and hips to repeat. A great way to break down the hip hinge movement is to think about it as a doorway. Think of your legs as a wall. It's solid and immovable. Your hips act as the hinge, allowing movement, and your torso is the door, traveling through the motion. In the follow-through position, your shoulder girdle should still remain retracted, your elbows extended, and your hips and knees are now flexed. Your ankles are now in a dorsiflexed position, and again your trunk remains neutral. When you hinge back into the backswing, your main muscles, again the hamstrings and glutes, have to lengthen against resistance. This is called the eccentric contraction. Think of your hamstrings and glutes as a bungee rope, absorbing the pressure of gravity by gradually lengthening and slowing your descent down before you stop and reverse again. On your final rep, allow the kettlebell to swing back through your legs, but don't drive your hips forward, so when it comes through, your legs can slow the momentum to place it on the floor carefully. All in all, the kettlebell swing hits 4 major pillars of fitness: strength, endurance, mobility, and cardio, making it truly an all-in-one exercise.